following today's conference. I think we are live, and I hope that you have no problem hearing and seeing me. So my name is Veronika Tomova. I work as a head of the Research and Development Department at International Balkan University. It is my tremendous pleasure to be your moderator, your host for today's conference. But of course, with the great pleasure comes the responsibility to moderate a discussion and of a great cohort of well-known academics. We are actually here from so many countries, from so many continents, actually. We are in different time zones, which makes this conference even more special. So International Balkan University is situated in Skopje, Republic of North Macedonia. It's a university that is truly international, with its students coming from 20 countries and agreements, and more than 150 international agreements. It's actually aiming to transform today's students into tomorrow's leaders. So today's conference is dedicated on the topic of challenges of the changing world, building a safer future, which means that today's reality is not as great as it's supposed to be, and we aim to build a better world. So at the very beginning of this event, I would like to introduce you with the conference agenda, which is divided in two main parts. There is an opening ceremony, followed by a keynote session of our remarkable speakers, and then there is a breakout session. Both sections of the conference are on a separate Zoom rooms, but for uninterrupted attendance, myself, and my IT support will take care for you to have no difficulties following the content. At the very beginning, I would like to open the floor to Vice Rector and Professor Alexandra Porjazowska-Kujundžiski, who is the main organizer from the organizational committee of this conference. So, Professor, please.
Thank you, Veronika, for your nice introduction. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to address the audience. Dear keynote speakers, dear participants, dear members of the University of Houston Clear Lake, dear members of the International Balkan University, dear colleagues, dear guests and friends. On behalf of the organizing committee and me personally, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to the third International Conference on Social Sciences and Humanities, organized by International Balkan University and the University of Houston Clear Lake. In line with the social distancing norms due to the COVID-19 pandemics, it is the first time in the history of the conference to be conducted using a digital platform. The conference intends to serve as a gathering point for a great array of academics and professionals to present their scientific achievements in the fields of humanities and social sciences and all interrelated disciplines. This event can also serve as a place where we can meet old friends and make new ones. The theme of this year's conference is Challenges of the Changing World, Building a Safer Future. During these 2 days, many researchers and scholars will share their beliefs, knowledge, and experience of the challenges the globe is facing and discuss the approaches and strategies for a better tomorrow. Let me walk you through the conference, introducing you first to the organizing and scientific committees. Part of the academic staff of the International Balkan University and the University of Houston Clear Lake are members of the organizational committee, while the scientific committee of the conference comprises scholars of over 10 countries. We are proud to have participants from 5 continents, from over 20 countries, so the epithet international fits well with the name of our conference that complies with the image of the International Balkan University in our society of a multinational, multi-religious, and multicultural environment. The audience will have the opportunity to select the presentations which they will attend out of 160 contributions of more than 250 authors. The presentations are organized in different sessions, covering the main topics of the conference, but not limited to economics, business, management, political sciences, international relations and sociology, legal studies, education, philology, psychology, digital transformation and communication, arts and history. Within these 2 days, we will have the opportunity to listen to the presentations of 5 outstanding keynote speakers in the area of diplomacy, history, sociology, economy, and psychology. We encourage all participants to send full papers with the possibility to be published in one of the journals issued by International Balkan University. And last but not the least, I would like to express my gratitude to the rector of the International Balkan University and the management of the University of Houston Clear Lake for their support throughout the process of preparation for the conference. I would like to thank the keynote speakers and all presenters, session chairs, as well as the members of the organizational and scientific committees for accepting our invitation to be part of this event. Big appreciation to Professor Cengiz Shishman and all members of the University of Houston Clear Lake for their involvement in all stages of the conference. Special thanks to the colleagues, members of the academic and administrative staff of International Balkan University for their unselfish work and contribution and being supportive during all these months. I would avoid mentioning any names, not to forget someone. Thank you all. With all support and inputs, the conference will continue its success story for a long time. So I wish you all successful presentations and fruitful work. Wishing you to enjoy the conference with the hope to see you at the next one, the 4th International Conference on Social Sciences and Humanities here in Skopje. I wish you all pleasant time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor. It is a pleasure organizing such an event with you. Thank you for all your dedication and hard work. So today with us, it's Professor Cengiz Shishman. So hello from Houston.
Hello. I happen to be in Istanbul now. Greetings from Istanbul.
Istanbul, great.
Yes, I'm in Istanbul now.
Okay, great to hear that. So actually, we are closer in proximity. Yeah. So Professor Cengiz Shishman, it's a director of history program and professor of history at University of Houston Clear Lake. He is also one of our key speakers, which session follows later on. Actually, it's Professor Shishman has a very impressive biography, and it's it's really gave me a hard time to sum up everything, but I will introduce you with his biography and his professional work during the keynote session. So now, please, the floor is open for Professor Shishman.
Thank you very much, Veronica, for your kind words, and thanks, Alexandra, for really walking us through the technical issues with regard to the conference. I hope that we are going to have a great and successful conference at the end of 2 days. Dear Honorable Speaker of the House of the Turkish Parliament, Professor Mustafa Şentop, dear Presidents, Professor Mehmet Erdem and Professor Ira Blake, dear members of the organizing and scientific committees of the conference, dear chairs and panelists, and dear guests who are joining us from all around the world. I also would like to welcome you to our truly international conference, which was co-organized by International Balkan University and University of Houston Clear Lake. I am very excited and also deeply honored to be part of this extraordinary event. As the title of the conference indicates, in coming 2 days, we are going to entertain some major scholarly and strategic issues with regard to building a safer future. One of the assumptions behind this conference theme is that social sciences and humanities are and will be instrumental in building a safer future for mankind. But we have a problem in doing so. these disciplines, these academic disciplines rather, as we know it, have been in a deep crisis in the last few decades and are going through radical transformation due to the disrupting challenges brought about by modern technologies and other administrative, political, and economic decision-making processes. Resources are increasingly directed toward applied or practical sciences with the intent of creating products of immediate value. As a result, the decline in so-called impractical humanities and social sciences has become precipitous. The American Historical Association reports that between 2011 and 2017, the number of history degrees awarded dropped more than 30%, and philosophy, English, and foreign languages more than 20%. We cannot expect a turnout in these numbers soon either. One of the pressing issues, especially in higher education institutions, is to make these disciplines relevant and attractive to students, parents, teachers, as well as to administrators and fundraisers, since they all tend to be attracted or rather distracted by STEM, namely science, technology, engineering, and mathematical sciences, for practical reasons. In fact, since the 19th century, some of the great minds, such as Max Weber, Martin Heidegger, Michel Foucault, and Jürgen Habermas, have been warning us that instrumental and calculative reason has been taking over the substantive reason, and that modern Western technology has been increasingly squeezing us in an iron cage. As I'm going to discuss in my keynote speech in detail, the current crisis in humanities and social sciences is part and parcel of this general trend. The bad news is that this crisis is real, and it is truly felt on our campuses. This challenge should be accepted by all of us. But the good news is that this is not the first time the humanities are facing a challenge. These branches of knowledge, thanks to their critical thinking skills, have power to reinvent themselves and found new directions for their future. This is something we had seen many times in the last century. Every crisis comes with opportunities. Some creative responses to this challenge have already been shaping the future of the humanities and social sciences on big university campuses. For example, a recently created major in medical humanities, at Johns Hopkins University, is the fastest growing in the schools of arts and sciences. Its readings include Homer, Galen, sacred texts, Dante, Ibn Khaldun, Kierkegaard, and contemporary films. In rebuilding these new interdisciplinary sciences against the challenges of contemporary current challenges, which combines not only humanities and social sciences, but also the humanities and natural sciences, one critical task is awaiting for us. This task is to liberate all the academic disciplines, from natural sciences to human sciences, from heavily Eurocentric and America-centric approaches and agendas, and to redesign them in an inclusivist and global manner, articulating the concerns of everyone on this planet. It is my genuine hope and expectation that this international conference is going to address the mentioned challenges and provide us with the necessary insights to build a safer future for all of us. Toward that end, I wish everyone a great success in delivering their papers, sharing their thoughts, and leading great discussions. Now, let's sit back and enjoy the ride in the coming 2 days. And thank you.
Thank you, Professor Schuschmann. I can only add buckle up and we're taking off.
All right, great.
So actually, I have to add something that I found as a quote from the great Swiss philosopher Henry Frederick. Society lives by faith and develops by science. So actually, social sciences is something that always goes together. And today's conference, as mentioned by Professor Shishman, has a mission to serve as a scientific center that educates and sets new standards in the academic work. So our next speaker, it's Professor Ira Kinchade Blake from the University of Houston Clear Lake. So Professor Ira, the floor is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity to provide welcoming remarks on behalf of all faculty, students, and staff at the University of Houston Clear Lake. We are delighted to join with International Balkan University as virtual co-hosts of the 3rd International Conference on Social Sciences and Humanities. We are proud of our relationship with International Balkan University and of our many faculty who have contributed to its overall success. I am also pleased to acknowledge and thank all who have served on the organizing committee for this conference. Having a successful international conference is hard enough to accomplish in ordinary times. When faced with the extraordinary challenges associated with a global pandemic, it is exponentially harder. Congratulations on a job well done. As you learn, share, and collaborate with one another throughout the conference, I encourage you to keep the mission of International Balkan University top of mind. It reads in part, and I paraphrase, International Balkan University will develop knowledgeable and competent individuals and leaders of the future in a challenging environment that will contribute to world peace through proactive application of their acquired knowledge and their prosperous careers and personal commitment in creating new benefits for the welfare of mankind. What a wonderful commitment you all have made to the world. This inspiring mission is consistent with UH Clear Lake's mission and vision, which read in part, the University of Houston Clear Lake will lead as a learner-centered university dedicated to achieving national prominence in transformative education, grounded in creative activities, innovative research, and community partnerships that serve regional, state, and global locations. UH Clear Lake's teacher scholars provide high-quality, student-centered undergraduate and graduate programs that prepare students to thrive in a competitive workplace and to make meaningful contributions to their communities and the world. Know that our university is honored to stand shoulder to shoulder with all who embrace such bold and noble objectives. Furthermore, we recognize that in the face of daunting current challenges, building a safer future is one of the fundamental responsibilities of higher education. I'm glad to see that our universities are taking this critical task seriously and increasing awareness of this joint commitment through events like this conference. In closing, I ask this of all of you. Learn as much as you can. Collaborate with as many as you are able. Think globally and enjoy the conference.
It will be honor and privilege actually to us to organize together with the University of Houston Clear Lake, together with the International Balkan University, the 3rd International Conferences of Social Sciences and Humanities. This year, the organized committee, scientific committee, decided to use one of the important and meaning subtitles or themes of the conference, Challenges of the Changing World, or more specifically, building a safe future. Like most of the previous speakers, Professor Cengiz and Professor dear Ira mentioned, we are facing with a lot of challenges, especially last 2 years. We were not expecting that the world will be forced to challenge. Me, like a professor of history, political history, and civilizations, I can add here humbly that regularly the societies are changing themselves, transforming themselves based on processes. So if we want to transform the society, we must wait a long-term processes. But instead of 2 years, we had the possibility to see that extraordinary situations like COVID-19 will force societies to find alternative ways to transform themselves, to find alternative possibilities to evolve themselves with the other world. So we are struggling nowadays to find a kind of possibilities, chances to build a safer future, not only in healthcare, but we are speaking politically, economically, socially. Like Professor Cengiz mentioned also that we are struggling with philosophy, history, linguistic, social sciences, or with the other word, which I prefer to say, the basis of all sciences, including calculus here. So today, more than 20 states, more than 250 scholars, we hope that we will try to find ways. We will suggest, propose, evoke a thesis of finding building a safe future. And I believe that we will find a lot of opportunities, possibilities, and ways to save the future, because humanities, societies, with the other wars, civilizations, always, even they will be a project, they will eliminate the projects and they will build the processes and they will find ways of building a safe future. So in the name of the rector, in the name of our colleagues, again, accept our thanks. It will be honor and privilege to us to be among all those scholars, and we will listen them carefully. And I hope, like previous speakers say, we will enjoy. So sit your tights and enjoy the show. Let's say thank you.
Excellent. Just enjoy the show. Our last but not least important speaker from actually taking place in the opening ceremony is Professor Mustafa Sentop from the Grand National Assembly of Turkey.
Saygıdeğer Başkan, değerli Rektör, kıymetli bilim insanları, Houston Clear Lake Üniversitesi ile Uluslararası Balkan Üniversitesi'nin birlikte düzenlediği Uluslararası Sosyal Bilimler ve İnsanlık Konferansı 2021'de sizlere hitap etmekten büyük bir mutluluk duyuyor. En içten duygularımla sizleri selamlıyorum. Pandemi öncesinde böyle bir konferansı çok daha sıcak ilişkilerin geliştiği, yüz yüze tanışmaların ve birebir tartışmaların gerçekleştiği, yeni dostlukların kurulduğu üniversite kampüslerinde ve salonlarda yapardık. Bugün bütün dünyayı etkisi altına alan koronavirüs ile yeni bir düzenin içine girmiş olduk. Eğitim faaliyetlerini online yürütüyor, sempozyumları, akademik toplantıları çevrim içi olarak kameralar aracılığıyla yapıyoruz. Esasında yeni bir yöntem olan bu çevrim içi buluşmalar bir kolay eğitim, etkileşim yöntemi olarak bundan sonra da hayatımızda yer almaya devam edecek gibi görünüyor. Değerli katılımcılar, konferansın ismi Sosyal Bilimler ve Beşeriyet. Konusu değişen dünyanın zorlukları, daha güvenli bir gelecek inşa etmek olunca esasen insan kavramı ve insanın hayatta kalmak üzere kendini her şarta göre şekillendirmesi üzerinde durmak gerekir. İnsanı ferdi ve toplumsal özellikleriyle tam manasıyla kavramak birçok meselenin çözümü açısından son derecede önemlidir. Sosyal bilimlerde insan kimdir, nedir sorusu hiçbir zaman değerini kaybetmemiş bir sorudur. İnsan merak eden, soran, sorgulayan, anlamaya, anlamlandırmaya çalışan, değer üreten bir varlıktır. Kendinden başlamak üzere gözünün gördüğü, kulağının işittiği, aklının erdiği, hissettiği her şey hakkında fikir yürüten bir varlık. Bilmeye ve öğrenmeye son derecede meraklı olan insan, kendinden başlamak üzere her şeyi inceler, araştırır. Kainattaki her varlığın yaratılışı ve meydana gelişi hususunda cevap bulmaya çalışır. İnsan olayların, olguların geçmişini bilmek, geleceğini öngörebilmek ister. Ayrıca yaşadığı süreci anlamlandırıp izah etmeye çalışır. Kendine, dünyaya, diğer alemlere ve diğer canlılara dair her zaman yeni şeyler söyleme çabası güder. Değerli katılımcılar, işte insanın bu merakı, araştırmaya, öğrenmeye olan ilgisi insanlığı bugünkü noktaya getirmiştir. Geldiğimiz noktada hayatlarımızın giderek dijitalleştiğini müşahede ediyoruz. Gelişen teknoloji her şeyi saymayı baskın bir alışkanlığa dönüştürüyor. Bu durum insanı da elbette değiştiriyor. Karşılaştırmalı şekilde baktığımızda geçmişte sosyal bilimler ve beşeri bilimler alanında eğitim, öğretim daha yaygındı. Fakat günümüzde teknolojinin ilerlemesi, yapay zekanın gelişimiyle sosyal bilimler alanının önemi azalıyor şeklinde bir kanaat oluşturuluyor. Günümüzde daha pragmatist yaklaşımın hakim olması bu kanaati güçlendirse de konusu insan olan sosyal bilimlerin önemini yitirmesini, söz konusu olamayacağını açıkça söylememiz gerekir. Az önce de değindiğim gibi sosyal ve beşeri bilimler insana ve hayata dair soruları cevaplar arar. Esasında insan olmasaydı hiçbir bilim dalının olmayacağını hepimiz biliyoruz. İnsanın ve insanlığın günümüzdeki sorunları ve ihtiyaçları dikkate alındığında koronavirüs salgını sebebiyle dijital platform üzerinden düzenlenen bu konferansın önemini anlamak daha kolay olacaktır. Değerli katılımcılar, insan çevresiyle anlamlıdır. Doğa ve insan ilişkisini çok iyi bilmeli. Gelecek nesillere temiz, kaynakları zengin, ekolojisi bozulmamış bir dünya bırakmalıyız. Dünyaya hükmederek medeniyetler kuran da, dünyayı kana bulayan, çevreyi kirleten, ekosistemi bozan da aynı insan. Bugün salgınla birlikte bütün ülkelerin, bütün bilim insanlarının, kısacası bütün insanlığın birlikte hareket etme zorunluluğuyla bir kez daha yüzleştik. Yaşadığımız dünyada maalesef fırsat eşitliği ve paylaşım adaleti bulunmuyor. Kaynaklara herkes eşit şekilde erişemiyor. Paylaşım adaleti olmadığı için teknolojik olarak gelinen seviye ve sahip olunan imkanlar sosyal çelişkileri giderek derinleştiriyor. Bu durum insanlığın ortak geleceğine dair duyduğumuz endişenin artmasına sebep oluyor. Geleceğimizi güvence altına almak için dünyanın kaynaklarını daha iyi şekilde kullanmayı, adil şekilde bölüşmeyi sağlayacak bir sistemi kurmak zorundayız. İnsanoğlu doğanın sesine kulak vermez ve yeryüzünün zenginliklerini hor bir şekilde kullanmaya devam ederse, gelecekte dünyanın değişen şartlarıyla baş etme kapasitemiz zayıflayacaktır. Yakın gelecekte karşılaşmamız muhtemel yeni virüsler ve gelişmeler, kişisel tarihimizi de dünya tarihinde geçmişten ve bugünden farklılaştıracak yeni şartları beraberinde getirecektir. İnsanın ve ülkelerin iç huzuru, paylaşma ile birlikte içinde yaşadığı toplumla, tabiatla, dünyayla uyumlu bir hayat geliştirmesine bağlıdır. Türkçemizde çok sevdiğim iki özlü ifademiz var. Adaletsiz paylaşımla ilgili olarak biri yer biri bakar, kıyamet ondan kopar. Diğer ifade ise İslam peygamberinin komşusu açken tok yatan bizden değildir sözüdür. Yakınımızdaki insanlarla ekmeğimizi bölüşmemizin gerekliliğini, bölüşmediğimizde hangi sıkıntıların çıkacağını veciz şekilde ifade eden cümlelerdir bunlar. Değerli katılımcılar, insanın gelişen bilim ve teknoloji vasıtasıyla evreni ve kendisini daha iyi tanıma fırsatı yakaladığını biliyoruz. Teknolojinin değiştirdiği ve değiştirmeye devam edeceği dünyayı ve bu değişimi doğru anlamak çok önemlidir. Amacımız fert, toplum ve ülkeler olarak ayakta kalmak, hayatı sürdürmeye devam etmekken bazen teknolojinin insan olma vasfımızın önüne geçtiğini müşahede ediyoruz. Değirmenden dokuma tezgahına, kılıçtan toplara, toptan insansız hava aracına ve yapay zekaya gelişen ve gelişmekte olan teknolojinin tüketim çılgınlığını körüklerken insan ruhundaki iyilik duygularını körleştirmemesini temenni etmeliyiz. Dilerim ki teknolojiye olan bağımlılığımızı gönül sıcaklığımızda, vicdanımızla denetleyebilir, dengeleyebilir. İnsanlığımızı ön planda tutarak teknolojik gelişmeleri insanlığın yararına olacak şekilde kullanmaya devam edebiliriz. Bu duygu ve düşüncelerle dijital imkanları kullanarak sizler gibi kıymetli ilim insanlarımızla aynı platformda olmaktan son derecede memnun olduğumu bir kez daha ifade etmek istiyorum. Konferansın mimarları Houston Clear Lake Üniversitesi'nin başkanı Sayın Blake'e Rektör Yardımcısı Sayın Kucunski'ye, Organizasyon Komitesi'nden Sayın Cengiz Şişman'a ve Uluslararası Balkan Üniversitesi Rektörü Sayın Mehmet Dursun Erdem'e emekleri için teşekkür ediyorum. 2 gün devam edecek konferansta sunulacak bildirilerin, paylaşılacak görüşlerin disiplinler arası etkileşime katkı sunmasını diliyorum. Hepinizi saygıyla selamlıyorum.
So actually, we slowly approach the end of the opening ceremony, but I encourage each of you to stay with us. We're gonna actually have a little break of 15 minutes and then continue with our first keynote speaker, Professor Milan Yazbets. So just a short intro. Professor Yazbets has been ambassador to North Macedonia. So he has been actually awarded and recognizes the best Southeast ambassador in the Southeast Europe. And I would say maybe a little bit further than that. Personally, I can say that Mr. Yazbets was my favorite diplomat that I got a chance to meet a couple of times. So his session will be dedicated on the importance of diplomacy and social sciences. And then another session from the Professor Cengiz Şişman is going to follow, dedicated on the future of social sciences and humanities. So also I want to inform you that you can drop a question in the chat below. I will try to make sure that every question is addressed to our speakers, and in the best of their knowledge, they will try to respond to the questions the audience has. So here we are in 5 minutes taking a break. 10:30, we are getting back here on the same link with the keynote speakers. But just I will try to end this session with the message, since so many times the pandemics were mentioned. To me personally, pandemics are a sign of how much the education maybe was deprived, and how much investments in education, especially science and research, are needed. But as Professor Şişman mentioned, with crisis, there are opportunities. And I truly believe that the next conference is not going to take place online, but actually we can host you here physically in our premises here in Skopje. So actually, I'm really eagerly looking forward to the next conference that is going to take place, hopefully, with physical presence. So let me thank our participants in the opening ceremony. It was my pleasure having you here, and looking forward seeing you here again shortly.
Just one remark, Suri. Thank you, Veronica, for the keynote speakers and the sessions presentation. We need to go to the second link. So please, we can share the second link, the link within the chat session to all participants. So you can go addressing actually the second link. You will approach the valuable keynote speakers, and later on the session's actually presentation.
Thank you so much, Professor, for the correction. If anyone has a problem,
already shared, so we will have a small break and we will continue.
10:30. Seeing you there.